Welcome to my channel, the Pattymac Knits YouTube channel. This is a channel devoted to knitting and crafting, cooking, gardening, all the wonderful, lovely things that go into living a crafty lifestyle. On this channel, I will share videos with you about my knitting projects, my yarn acquisitions, what I'm cooking, and what I've got going on in my garden. Today's video is all about my favorites for June 2017. So let's jump right in, shall we? First up is yarn. My favorite yarn for June is Plucky Knitter, and I am obsessed now with their small batch Plucky. And what I'm going to share with you today is small batch Plucky number 14. And girl, it's all about the speckles. So here it is. It is beautiful. Oh my gosh. I love this stuff. This is primo worsted for their base. They have several bases. There's 200 yards of yarn on this skein, and it's merino, cashmere, and nylon, and it is yummy. Oh, look how beautiful it is. I was unsure about knitting with speckles. I had never knitted speckles before, and I have to say, I love them. They are beautiful. I was concerned about so much of the natural yarn, and that I don't know, I might wind up with this just, I don't know, like white piece that I'm knitting, and no, it's beautiful. So if you can get your hands on Plucky Knitter or any speckles, really, go for it. But my favorite this month is definitely this Plucky small batch number 14. My favorite knitting pattern this month is the Boneyard Shawl, which is by Stephen West. This is not a new pattern. It's one of his first patterns. It's free. You can find it on Ravelry, and it's right there. That's the one I made, and I'm really, really fudging proud of that thing. It took me 5 months to make it. It is huge. I love it, and we will look at it more closely in my full-length podcast episode, so you'll have to stick around for that. My favorite YouTube channel this month is Craft House Magic, and it's hosted by Ellie. This is another knitting podcast that is out of England, and the UK. So I watch a lot of podcasts that are hosted by English knitters, and I love them. And Ellie is completely adorable, so check her out if you don't know about her already. My favorite Etsy shop this month is called Good Morning Cactus, and wow, she does beautiful succulent arrangements, and she's got this thing going on now where there's succulents in little tiny teacups. They're so pretty, and I want one really bad, even though I have more succulents than I know what to do with, but her little succulents in teacups are calling my name. So check her out, Good Morning Cactus. My favorite Netflix show this month is an oldie but a goodie, Gilmore Girls. I mean, really, does it get better than Gilmore Girls? I love them. I can't get enough. I wish I lived in Stars Hollow. I feel like my reality better aligns with Stars Hollow. That's where I should be. So I guess if I can't really live in Stars Hollow, I can enjoy it on my Netflix. So yeah, if you don't know Gilmore Girls, check them out. If you haven't watched them in a while, go ahead and check them out again. It's a fun show. It's a nice way to end the day. You can knit, you can watch a little Gilmore Girls, and you can actually feel good when you go to bed. How about that? What a concept. My favorite tea this month is sun tea, and this is something that we used to do back in the 70s and 80s. I don't know if younger viewers are going to know what I'm talking about. If you are an older viewer and you remember making sun tea, let me know. Are you making it now? I love my sun tea. I think I'm going to actually do like a recipe video and show how I make it because it's so darn good. And you can make it with herbal tea. So I really watch the caffeine, so I don't do any caffeinated tea. And I've been making it with herbal and it is delicious. So yeah, favorite tea this month, sun tea. My favorite skincare this month is from It Cosmetics, and it is a makeup remover. I saw this advertised on QVC. I buy a lot of QVC products. I love QVC. They are awesome. Let's just, 2 words, easy pay. Okay? It doesn't get better than easy pay. So anyway, when they brought this on, I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. And what's nice about this product is that it's very creamy. I was using like wipes to take the makeup off, and they worked pretty good, but they're not as gentle, and I need to be like super, super easy on the eye area, and I am wearing more makeup now doing YouTube videos, so I needed something that would be really super easy and moisturizing on my eyes. So I bought this, and I don't know if you can see that or not. It's very creamy. It is so nice. You just take a little bit out and it melts your makeup right off, which is so nice. And you can do your whole face. But for me, I got it mostly for the eye makeup. But it melts the eye makeup right off, and then you take a hot cloth and it's gone. It's very nice. So she calls it a 3-in-1 makeup melting cleansing balm. So yeah, this is super nice. Bye Bye Makeup. Totally recommend that. My favorite movie this month is not a new movie. I happened to see it in the store and picked it up. When I saw it in the theater, holy cow, I was on the edge of my seat. It was almost too much. Not scary, but suspenseful, and some of it was scary because it was life or death. The movie I'm talking about is Gravity. I don't know if you've seen this or not. This was a fantastic movie. I don't even know how in the heck they did what they did. This movie is incredible. And not just the effects, the story. A lot of people were critical because they're like, oh, that couldn't really happen. But so what? It was still a good story. Okay, it was interesting. And it's Sandra Bullock, and wow, does she ever look great in this movie? And she was like, I want to say 50 years old when she did this. So yeah, girl power, go Sandy. And also George Clooney, right? I mean, come on, George Clooney. I love George Clooney. He is amazing, and I'm so happy for him with his family. I just thrilled. But anyway, this movie is fantastic. And if you are a regular viewer of the podcast, you know that I love anything about astronauts. I am all about space. Anything about astronauts is completely fascinating to me. I was trying to think why astronauts? And when I was a little girl, the space program was a big deal. And I can still remember the astronauts going to the moon. And that was like, everything stopped in those days when the astronauts were doing their thing. It was remarkable. And when they came back, that was it. That's all you talked about. I also think that some of the fascination comes because I loved I Dream of Jeannie when I was growing up. I watched it every day after school, and Major Nelson was an astronaut. Okay, so that probably helped. So yeah, the idea of the handsome astronaut, there's not much that gets better than that. So while we're talking about really cool astronaut stories, I'm going to recommend I guess it's a podcast. I heard it on Radiolab, which is an NPR show. I'm going to give you a link in the down bar for this. I highly recommend listening to it. It was called The Dark Side of Earth. And they were talking about darkness and what is true darkness. And they had an interview with an astronaut, and his stories are flippin' amazing. So people who say that some of the stuff that goes on in this movie are fantasies, they need to listen to the Radiolab program with the real astronaut, because some of the stories that he recounts are as harrowing as anything in this movie. So yeah, if you're into space and astronauts, definitely give that a listen. So favorite movie for the month, Gravity. My favorite blog this month is called Kittenhood, and it's by Daria, and she's Romanian. I think she's living in Germany right now, but her heritage is Romanian, and she does the sweetest arts and crafts and recipes type of website. Really well done. She is wonderful to follow, so if you're looking for another fun craft blog, Kittenhood. My favorite Instagram for the month is Brother Wolf, and I love Brother Wolf. She is living in Spain, and she does the sweetest animal pieces. Her name is Judith. She did the illustration of Willie for me. He's on my wall up here. Hold on, I'll get that. So this is the illustration she made for me of Willie. Oh, look at it, and it looks just like him. I mean, it's amazing. She did this as a watercolor from an Instagram post that I made, and he is wearing a Gryffindor cowl that I knitted for him. The upper school, or the upperclassman, I should say. Yeah, so she touched my heart when she made this for me last year. This was my golden retriever that I lost almost a year ago, and it was very sad. I'm still kind of sad about it, and she sent this to me as a gift, so I'll just always be touched by that. This will be one of my most treasured possessions for always. So yeah, and she does embroidery and sews, and her work is incredible. She's doing this series now with like little polar bears, and she sews them by hand and embroiders something on them. Each one is different, and she's like painting these little wooden boxes to make beds for them, and it's just so cute. It's clever. So she sells her pieces on Etsy, but her Instagram feed is darling, so totally check out Brother Wolf. Okay, so those are my favorites, not just for June, but always. I love all of these things all of the time. But for purposes of today's video and sharing a list of fun things with you, that's what I have for you this month. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you find something lovely and new that you can enjoy in your life. Thanks for hanging out, and it was super fun checking in with you again, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.